Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to the Mr. Cat Invitational EU. We're going to be taking a look at the game number 2 now. It is Chip +4 facing off against Prodota Gaming. I'm Lyrical, going to be joined as well by the wonderful, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Gareth. Sir,
hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited for this one. Clockwork gets banned, so neither team gets it. That hero has become incredibly disgusting over the past couple of days.
Yeah, and it's weird because I don't know if that's something that's going to transition into like Dota that's not in Europe and in this tournament. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen a ton of other teams running it all that often. But what are your thoughts?
Like outside of EU tier 2 tournaments,
right?
Is it going to happen? Like maybe something that, like, you know, triggers someone to play. Like maybe Moon Meander plays Clockwork in his next competitive game. You never know.
I mean, if there's a guy to do it, that would be the guy. I think I remember
nice.
IX Mike saying that, like, all right, they picked Clockwork, they lost. He's very much against this. But that's NA Dota, very different.
Okay.
But regardless, it's going to be a Spirit Breaker taken as the 3rd pick for the side of Chip +4. That and the Darkseer means that they could probably try and put a lot of aggression down here, but with already a Juggernaut taken, not a hero that ends up bulking that much at even a Spirit Breaker charging at him.
Yeah, but the cool thing you can do is, you know, not just the aggro dual lane, but also Iron Shell Spirit Breaker, then have him, you know, TP to mid or TP to top safe lane tier 2, and then charge in even under smoke to have like Iron Shell and unpredictable sort of ganking angles. With a Disruptor as your 2nd pick, you kind of knew that PD aren't going to go for your Monkey King or your Spirit Breaker roaming hero because they have the IO. And it also preempts combos like IO Ember Spirit, which was relatively popular for a good period, because when Ember gets level 3, against the majority of mid heroes he's laning against, he can trade well, but with an IO you can look for kills and, you know, trade massively effectively with shrines. Like, the amount of HP we did get from a shrine when you're tethered up to someone is insane. It's like 7,000 HP or some like crazy number. Yeah,
it's nuts. And also you have like these other combos too, where you can have the Nyx Assassin set up for you and then you find the kill that way, which is why we see that ban. Or the other one you talked about, the Ember, was the Batrider IO as the dual combination in the off lane, and that's another heavy pressure. Bristleback is another thought if they wanted to go old school with it, but don't know if that's the way that they want to play their game.
Well, they have like part 1 done, because usually you kind of want a guaranteed hero that can go up and hit buildings, because IO, like, partners don't exist in the same kind of way they used to. You know, it used to be IO CK, IO Tiny. Now it's more about like floating between lanes and helping people out and opening up the map. Like opening up the map for your team, for heroes, you know, like Morphling, who can replicate as well. You can start ratting. It gets scary, especially when Chip +4 are kind of building up for this big, you know, brawly teamfight heavy lineup with Ursa, Darkseer. Spirit Breaker offers them some global range, but actually moving around the map as a unit, you know, your actual, you know, macro play across the map as time goes on, it gets more and more limited for Chip +4. Whereas PD, they've got Shadow Shaman to split push, IO to relocate people around, Juggernaut to be the frontliner with a healing ward. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them, you know, go for even more split push to try and split Chip +4.
Yeah, and even something like, you know, relocate, drop wards as Shadow Shaman can be hard to deal with.
I'd love to see that. I would love to see that, honestly.
It might happen at some point in this game. But that being said, you also do have the problem of just the run-at-you style, and seeing Chip +4 get online before Prodota Gaming can even do anything about it. OD, you said there's not really a combo, and I would agree with that as far as like a tiny, you know, relocating for kills, but there is the combo as far as a tether target that you can overcharge and just deal massive damage, and OD is that guy in spades.
Oh yeah, and he's a mid laner that's going to be very good against Spirit Breaker ganks coming in. He can Astral the charge, or he can Astral perhaps the Ursa is going mid. Like, Chip +4 do like to run the Ursa mid from time to time, as do a lot of CIS teams. But against an OD, you're probably going to change that up and try and get a better matchup for yourself. Now you know that it's OD mid. And move Ursa sort of towards the safe lane. But banning offlaners now, PD, what options do they have? Clockwork, Bat, Nyx, Beastmaster are all taken out of the game. Magnus is gone as well. And what do you pick as your offlaner here?
Yeah, I mean, Legion feels like it could be pretty good. I think that would be my pick for it. They're going to take the TA out.
they definitely need more stuns. Like a Sand King might work. Oh, okay.
Wow.
So they go double defensive. Now they have the multi-layered, defense pact between IO and Omni Knight.
Yeah.
One saves the other, saves another person. OD can save someone as well. They've got so many ways to disengage and run away from chip +4, and then split push with like Shadow Shaman and IO relocating people around. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's quite good. I think that it's, I mean, Omni OD has always been a thing that's just frustrating to deal with. Ursa, kind of still a nice answer to it, though. Like, if he can get his Enrage off and just manage to beat away at Omni Knight, or rather at OD, then you're lacking damage across the board the rest of the way, because where else do you gain damage from? You don't have something like that CM ulti in the last game. Shadow Shaman wards are kind of a thing that can work, but it's a little bit sketchy. Last pick for Mr. For Chip +4. I must have said for Mr. Cat. They're not a team.
Last pick for Mr. Cat.
Yeah. My eyes, I think like a lot of the traditional OD counters are kind of gone. Maybe they take like a Razor? Ugh.
I think a Puck, maybe. Puck here helps alleviate pressure from the split push, allows you to jump the IO with the Spirit Breaker and with the Ursa. It enables and really improves the sort of combo ability there with like Darkseer and Disruptor. But no, it's going to be the Ursa mid, it looks like. They're going to keep him there.
That is
even
bold.
against the OD.
That is crazy. These guys are insane. Chip +4, they're out of their minds. They're madmen.
I mean, maybe that keeps the IO there so you can't float between lanes. They just try lane mid, Ion Shell, Spirit Breaker, Disruptor, and Ursa just running down mid for the first 3 minutes. Let's see it. Let's just lane the OD.
I think that's what they need to do, because there's no way that they end up staying in that lane and farming with Ursa just passively. Like if there is ever moments where Spirit Breaker is not charging OD, Ursa is losing the lane at that point. Like, they need to kill him over and over and over again. Am I wrong in that? Please tell me if I'm wrong in that.
No, I'm half joking, half being serious about them like just throwing Ion Shell on Spirit Breaker and non-stop running at mid, and then maybe Fervion on the Disruptor comes in as well to throw some Thunder Strikes. Because if you draw the support's attention away from the side lanes, or you do one or the other, right? You pull the supports from side lanes to mid, and you make a tri-lane versus tri-lane, where the Shadow Shaman and IO, who are much more level dependent and much more gold dependent than your supports are forced to not farm, not stack, not pull, not collect runes. Then you're winning in that sense. And then you've got heroes like, Darkseer that can actively pressure the side lane as well in 1v1 situations. So, like, going duo lane or 2.5 lane mid is definitely worth it for Chip +4.
Are you getting this connection failure returning to matchmaking?
Yeah.
I don't know what is happening. Yeah,
it's just because it was paused, I think.
Weird.
I still have the message on my screen though. Oh, it's gone now. It's gone.
Thank goodness. That would have been awful. Would have been completely and totally awful. Well, early impressions of the draft, things that you feel like either team like a linchpin for their lineup, things that has to be accomplished.
They need to not get sucked into the whirlpool of destruction that will be Chip +4 just running at them nonstop. Like we saw from Milan in one of his previous games as Crystal Maiden kind of getting caught out a lot. That has to not happen. Like, J4 is not allowed to die a lot this game. And Shadow Shaman, he needs to hit 6 at a reasonable time, like pre-10 minutes.
Hey, check this one out. This is pretty fancy. First blood drawn by Magical. That's a good way to start it. Gets themselves some kills.
See, they just run at you, dude. They are just going to non-stop a move into your base, and you'll have to deal with it. And this is the thing. PD have to run away. They cannot get sucked in, because this right here, you see it? You see these 4 heroes? That's the whirlpool of destruction. These guys are just going to non-stop chase you down. Mag is going to farm. He's going to set up top lane, just Ion Shell stuff.
Yola's ready. Oh, I love that ward spot, too. This is one of my favorite ones. And I first saw it, I think, when I was watching some Chinese tournament. I don't remember what it might have been LGD or something, but you eat the tree, and then you place down this ward up on the high ground. Oh, it's glorious.
It is beautiful.
All right.
But they're actually running like okay, so yeah, this makes it even better. They're running like an aggro 2.5 lane bot lane with Spirit Breaker floating between mid and bot. So they're actually able to potentially like run mid. So that they're applying pressure like even more on all these lanes. But it's a good change up here by PD. They've moved Shadow Shaman, Jug top, realizing that they want the Darkseer matchup. Omni goes bot to kind of soak this aggro dual lane. So PD have adapted like perfectly.
Yeah. Well, and I'm curious too, like how they try and play this. If Magical can do a good job of like manipulating the creep wave and pulling it back under tower so we can get some CS, that'd be quite good. Does have the Poor Man's Shield and then a stack of tangos on top of pool tangos, so maximum regen. And then SB is just going to want to make sure that he gets up to level 2, as we did see here a little shackles being used on the Mag here in the top lane as well.
Yeah, he spends 140 mana on shackles to stop Mag from getting a last hit on a ranged creep. It was glorious.
Ooh, I love this as well. The Iron Talon Jungle Wisp. The more often than not seen nowadays. I feel like this is more common than regular Wisp, honestly.
Yeah, when Highlight I started doing it, during the Kiev qualifiers or just a bit before that, everyone started doing this. You get to level 5 at like 5 minutes. You get level 6 at like 5 minutes 30 or something. It's insane when you're stacking and doing everything correctly.
But Yol should be able to come and disrupt this a little bit, right? Like, he's got level 2 at this point. Am I wrong in that? Or I guess they just want to focus on killing off Barter instead. Nice shackles. There's the surge forward. Wants to punch him in the head and does manage to find it.
The Darkseer punch. We saw it yesterday. The Darkseer punch is strong.
Yeah, that's great.
What were you asking?
Well, like, can't you see Spirit Breaker maybe go in and try and disrupt the farm a little bit of Milan? Because like, there's not much that Milan could do if Spirit Breaker just charges at him, right? Yeah, and there it is. Like, it's just gonna run in, charge, steal the bounty rune, and go away.
Yeah, he gets kind of lucky there. The bounty rune steal is, you know, a nice big bonus, but the trouble is it's fighting near Shrine and near the dual lane of PD. They've already got Shadow Shaman and Juggernaut up here. So going into where Milan's farming, which is kind of nestled in between the mid lane and the top lane, he'll likely be alone and no one can go and help him. So if he gets caught, he either has to charge away or die.
Right.
So even disrupting, I don't think it's worth like losing his life over it.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Well, he is hanging out by the shrine right now, waiting for Ursa to come and join him. They can chill for a bit, building towards those phase boots early on. Roshan is something else that's going to be under contention, obviously, once the game gets a little bit later on. And I feel like maybe if they're able to try and put enough pressure onto this top tower, taking it down early might make some difference. Although I guess that there's the shrine there too, the TP2. So no longer able to really do that objective.
Shrines are so good. Like, the more and more like games I watch of Prodota, the more and more I realize how good shrines are and how well pro gamers are abusing shrines. You know, playing aggressively with 3 heroes, smoking up and sending your 2 supports to the offlane so they can go and attack, then shrine, then attack again.
Yeah, it's good. And like,
Is
there's just a new way to do it.
Top?
He might be. There's Dukin comes out as well for a little bit of extra bonus damage, but with the IO there, it is going to be enough to keep him alive. J4 manages to take down Mag instead, and now Yol under a little bit of trouble. You got to be careful. The little right clicks from Shadow Shaman. This one's hurt. Does 74 damage a pop.
Yeah, he'll just cancel the charge and run away. Well, that's pretty nice. J4 has enough money for boots, moving on to Arcanes. I don't know if he goes Tranquil Boots and Shadow Shaman. You really are mana starved as that hero. But they finally alleviate some of the pressure from the Spirit Breaker as well as this Darkseer lane up at top. But look at where Magical is. Just wandering around, collecting runes. His CS is very good, 20 and 2 against the 23 and 4 of the OD.
Yeah.
Kai's got this double null and likely into the Hand of Midas build, but Magical has been farming through kind of pressuring the OD back really nicely.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was expecting it to be a much more difficult lane, but I guess the combination of Poor Man's Shield and Ursa's constant threat of being able to push the OD out is enough. As bottom lane, there's going to be some pressure now. Used on to 3-3. Doesn't get the repel off, so there's going to be another one. Actually doesn't have repel. Just has that point up in purification. And so he will be able to stay alive with that purification used, but might be under fire soon if there's another charge that comes through.
Yeah, he's got some stick charges and now IOs here, so should be okay with the bottle charges. But with the mid lane, usually the pressure from OD comes through spamming Astral and shoving creep waves and farming with it, right? But when you're against a Spirit Breaker, you can't really consistently use Astral to shove creep waves. And you can't just use it, you know, whenever you want to. Because he needs it for situations like this, where the charge is coming in, and he needs to Astral himself.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, he can come out of this, but is going to die nonetheless. Yol taking the tower for Magical, make sure he doesn't end up going down, and, well, there is still a while before that Shrine's going to be back up, unfortunately, for the side of Chip +4.
It's still a big kill, like over 200 gold going to your Ursa, who already has phase boots.
Right.
And killing off the OD pre-Midas. Yeah, he's going for the Hand of Midas. Recipes queued up with his Gloves of Haste already picked up.
And look at this rotation. They've realized they can't really contend with an Omni Knight solo in lane, so they're going to send the Sven up towards the top side and maybe even try and rotate the Darkseer either into the jungle or possibly down towards bottom.
Yeah, this is very similar to what we were seeing at the Boston Major, where, you know, Luna or Lifestealer with a Shadow Demon or a Warlock or something would go aggro dual lane, and they'd have their, you know, off laner be the safe laner and get a lot of very good experience as waves kind of, you know, naturally push into the tower, and the enemy can't pull them. Then they swap back once they get, you know, level 3, level 4, maybe even level 5. You swap the lanes back, so now your safe laner has access to the jungle, so he'll be like pushing out lanes, aiming for tier 1 take, and farming jungle as he goes back. And obviously now your offlaner has a few levels, some decent items, and can kind of survive against the supports of PD. Like your Darkseer now, is just going to start running forward with a Spirit Breaker.
I mean, they did end up bringing the Omni Knight out of there. This was spotted just a second ago. The Spirit Breaker was charging him, and so it's sort of back to what the lanes were before. They just changed up those sides, and I guess that this also ensures that your offlaner on, you know, Radiant side as well, he has enough levels that he'll be able to survive here without any worry of getting taken out by, unless like a heavy rotation comes.
Oh yeah, like he's level 6, 3 points in Purification. He's pretty happy right now. He's just picked up that repel point that he was holding on to.
Oh, mid lane again?
Yeah.
I can't go for it. Even with the Ion Shell, Kaiser playing it safe, not wanting to get caught out, and of course this ward over here as well, giving some good information whenever Spirit Breaker makes those run-throughs.
Yeah, that fresh ward's placed out straight after the gank that was successful, so that OD knows what angle he's coming from, because when you're in mid lane, you know, you have cover from pretty much everywhere except that one dark spot to the east of the trees near your tier 1. But now he's got vision of that.
They should realize that there is a Spirit Breaker charging in, a lot of damage done. They just destroy that Sven. It is going to be Io living through this though, and now slowing down Yol with the tether movement. Thought about going for it, but they think the better of it and decide to back out.
Disruptor really needs some levels here. But he's never going to have a lane to really sit on, so Fervian's going to be struggling for a lot of this game.
Oh no. Oh no. 2 kills in about a minute for that. Yeah, they're going to be able to go onto him. A good bit of damage. Needs a bash, at least one. It's not coming, though, and he isn't going to get lucky this time around. In the bottom lane, they're able to find a kill onto the Juggernaut with the Sven. A little bit of just solo action there.
Oh, wow. Oh, did you notice, by the way, the OD Astral, the Ursa, and not the Spirit Breaker?
Yeah.
Like, he'd rather tank the charge instead of having another Earth Shot come out from Ursa, which is a much, like, lower cooldown, and the chase with the phase boots would continue. Because usually your natural feeling as a player is, like, stop the initiation, right? And you'd want to Astral the Spirit Breaker to stop the charge coming in.
Yeah.
But he realized that the actual threat of damage from the Ursa was, like, much higher.
Oh, totally. Particularly, I think he had, like, 3 stacks of Fury Swipes up on him at that point.
Yeah, it gets really spooky then.
Well, they haven't really dealt with this Omni Knight very well, and he has Arcanes and 700 gold on top of that. I feel like this is going to be such a strong timing that they can hit with Juggernaut Healing Ward being online, having a mech on Omni Knight if they want to go that route, or honestly, he could just turn into a third core and go Radiance, depending upon how he wants to play it.
Yeah, he can buy a Hand of Midas now. We've seen this from a lot of offlane Omnis, is go for like Arcane Boots, a few kind of intermediate items with Raindrops and PMS, and then go for a Hand of Midas so you can build into things like Radiance, or if you want a Blink Dagger or a Force, or anything along those lines, or even the full Guardian Greaves. But Magical, with his phase boots, he's found Milan.
That's going to end up being one, maybe another, because you don't have any mana on the Shadow Shaman, almost level 6, but it wouldn't have mattered anyways. Now the Earth Shotgun about to be in range. He's juking around, but not able to get out. And they're also going to be able to glimpse away 3-3.
He thought about repelling there, but realized it would be much better just to go back to mid lane and pressure this lane than stay at top.
Yeah. They know that the Spirit Breaker is coming as well. They pinged him out.
Going?
He just wants to party. He just wants to get Omni Slash. Yeah, he doesn't know any other life. It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Question mark? Like, he just wanted to go in, right? But then he's against the Juggernaut Omni with so much burst damage. That was an interesting decision.
I mean, you know, if you're a Spirit Breaker, you do things from time to time. J4 does have those Serpent Wards now, though. They could think about dropping him, as Milan is going to be charged again.
You have 2 level 6 supports on the Radiant. You've got Relocate and Serpent Wards, take towers easily.
Uh-oh. Yo. Oh, they get the shackles after the stun comes through. Yo. Oh, no. He just knows no other life. That's what he does.
He just wanted to go in, Lyrical. He just wanted to go in. Now that they know where Fervian is, they've scouted him out with the orb. I don't know if they can chase, though. Garter isn't fast enough.
I mean, they just repel, and they're going to chase him, but they don't have the movement speed to keep up as of yet. Drop the Static Storm. He ends up walking through it, though. Now you're in a very awkward place. The charge comes through again, going to connect. Milan is going to drop his Magical Shut Up as well as Mac. Vacuum to break the shackles, but they've already killed off the Disruptor off to the side. Doesn't matter, though, because they took down the Omni and the Wisp, and now also going to get J4 and farm up some wards to boot.
Omni Knight had 10 stick charges and GA. He had time to pop them, but left it way too late and then got charged and bashed up by the Spirit Breaker, so he died before he could use any of them at the end of the fight. But Omni Knight had the tools to kind of save, or at least, you know, salvage things for PD in the middle of that. But he was a little bit too far forward as well with the Juggernaut, chasing very deep for a Disruptor kill. Like, it looks bad for the Dire that, you know, Disruptor gets chased and Static Storm's baited. It was, you know, an awful Static Storm. But the fact that they've dived so deep for it meant that it kind of was worthwhile.
And this would normally not be so big of an issue if you had a core like TA or something that's able to flash farm like crazy, but OD in a lot of ways, him being out of that fight, this would have been a great time for him to maybe at least get slightly involved and help be a part of the kill or save somebody at the very least, but him not being there, he didn't really pull way ahead in terms of farm, and now Ursa's on top of him. They find that kill on the IO, and it's looking like, you know, they might have a way to really pull this game away. Chip +4.
Yeah, they've got some really great ways to just jump into the backlines, right? Spirit Breaker and Ursa both mobile now with Charge and Blink. Sven looks like he's going to go for the Mask of Madness S and Y build, which we saw come out of China. You know, kind of stat heavy. You go for a lot of movement speed and the ability to chase people down. Now that Sandra was buffed with the slows being much more powerful, it's very good against heroes like Juggernaut and OD who want to reposition, who want to kind of, you know, skirt the fights almost, coming in with an Omni Slash here, pop their healing ward, re-enter the fights with sort of in and out tactics. Or the Hurricane Pike from OD, which will be coming soon.
Yeah,
but then there's things like Glimpse and Vacuum as well for the Dire. Like, they've got so many tools at their disposal.
And it helps to solve some of the issues of trying to keep up with Juggernaut as well. Like, that's one of the reasons I loved Echo Saber so much on Sven, was because you could slow down a Jug and basically just eviscerate him in 3 shots. Now you can kind of have that same type of thing with the Mask of Madness movement seed and Sanjay and Yasha and chase him down without having to invest in an item that you don't really want in the late game. Ooh, but big movement. Smoke coming right now from Chip +4. Who are they going to run? God, if they can find Kaiser right here, this would be huge.
Oh, man. That's the tightest of angles. Smoke's going to pop now.
All right, they know. They're going to be able to spot this out. They walk out. There's the Force Staff away, but now the Vacuum onto 2. Static Storm has been dropped onto them as well. They've taken the kill only onto the Shadow Shaman, and now Magical pops in Rage, just going to go for the TP away. They were able to glimpse them so that way there wasn't an Astral. Big play by Disruptor to save his carry.
That was huge. He was getting so close to getting an Astral off from the low ground as well. And Sven is just farming ancient stacks. You know, he's getting huge over here in the Dire jungle while all of that fighting is taking place. So even though the Dire don't get a kill, they don't get a pick, they still put that fear into the Radiant team that, you know, that they aren't invulnerable. They're not on a pedestal. Even with heroes like Omni Knight and Io behind them, there are still ways to kind of sneak in behind the main cores and find the supports in the back.
You know, I'm not going to lie. I'm feeling like late game, there are some answers here that Chip +4 have for Prodota, with basically running, you know, a tri-core sort of, with Darkseer being one of them. It's going to be hard for them to contend with this, with mainly just like the OD and the Jug. And Jug, I mean, he's countered in a lot of ways by these heroes, with the Ursa and the Sven, but
yeah,
Roche going to come down now. They need to fight this.
Even Disruptor, like Disruptor, Static Storm on top of Juggernaut makes him pretty much, you know, impotent. He can't do anything because he needs to use his spells in team fights. He can't just get away with right-clicking people.
Oh, they know. The charge through hits onto Milan, but now, again, they take the Omni Slash. That's not bad. It's so hard to fight into this, though. They need the Static Storm, and it's back up in 2 seconds. They're thinking about going in now. Mag is out on the outside as well, has Vacuum Wall. They pop GA, running into all of them. Vacuum Wall onto 3. Is it going to be enough? Magical is there as well. The right click's coming through. Can they kill off Kaiser, though? He's repelled up, so the Static Storm didn't do quite enough. Mag being controlled. Sanity's Eclipse could come out in just a second or two. Roshan still stands, though. Arc needs to take it down right now, and it is going to end up picking it up. There's the Aegis. Kaiser now also going to get ran down. Can they have another stun? Mask of Madness pop. He had Stormhammer up, so he wasn't able to stun. Oh, that would have been the moment. He popped Mask, and he didn't stun.
Oh, dear. That could have been huge, though. Sandy's Eclipse was still being held, because even though OD hit a bunch of people, God, they're getting close to death as well. And even though OD hit a bunch of people, it was only level 1 Arcane Orb.
Yeah. Is he really going to get away from this? What a guy.
Yeah, apparently Charge is a very good spell. But yeah, he only had level 1 Arcane Orb in the fight, so he actually wasn't getting that much intelligence. He wasn't getting enough to, slam people with the Sandy's Eclipse.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's getting a testy matchup, that's for sure. And now Sven, with the Aegis still held, too, he can start moving around, clear out these camps, and maybe they could think about running down another one of these Tier 1 towers.
Yeah, look at them grouping for Tier 1 down the bot lane. Sven's going to take out another set of Ancients. Needs some mana regen, though.
Is the Shrine?
One of his teammates has Arcane Boots. He'll probably just go back home, use the Shrine, and then TP down towards bot.
Okay.
They still have their Shrine to TP to.
Ooh. What a game.
And Omni is going for the Hand of Midas. They've kind of realized they need to drag this game out a little bit longer with the Juggernaut and OD still needing to kind of bridge the gap between their early game items and their mid game / late game ones. As Garter's caught.
There was no way. They dropped everything.
Immediate death.
And that's why people say that Ursa is a counter to Jug. I will say that there's still the problem of dealing with pushing high ground that you're gonna have to always contend with for Chip +4. It's not an easy push. That being said, you also don't have the best wave clear for Prodota. J4 is probably the best with the Aether Shock, but even that, it's not great.
Well, yeah, the best thing is that PD don't have that many sources of magical damage in the early game, so the Dire haven't had to go BKBs, right? They can get their BKBs at their leisure, 40, 50 minutes into the game to deal with the OD. And then OD becomes a non-hero for, a good 10-minute period, basically, because he can't hit people with Arcane Orb and can't kill the cores.
Yeah. No, it's true. And that is the nice part about it. So, it'll allow them to win fights, and I guess that's the thing, is that if you can, as long as you don't have to be that afraid of, the big Wombo combo coming out on the high ground, then maybe they can just walk up and dare Prodota to come at them.
Yeah, PD kind of have a window, but kind of don't. Right now, they just need to not get solo picked off. Garter at bottom lane again.
They do have Io here, so I think that he should be fine. They still have relocate. Yeah, they're not going to die for it. Well,
that was close though.
Maybe what? Yol? What is this guy?
Dude, Yol just wants to go in. That's all he wants in life, is to go in, and he keeps going in.
Yeah. Why not?
Oh yeah, that was close. Garter timed that pretty much perfectly. If he'd stayed for even, 1 second or 1 creep longer, he would likely have been found by the Ursa, who was just running straight towards him with Phase Boots and Blink ready. And he's got the Basher done as well. But the BKBs are going to start coming in now. Ursa wants one. Sven is going back for the Blink, actually. But we'll likely pick up a BKB straight after that one.
You never know. I've seen some of these Tier 2 games go a long ways without having a BKB. And sometimes to the detriment of the entire enemy team is, Arc. Not at all afraid, able to bait out the spin, but here's 3-3 on the other side. They go on to Milan, the Io, but he's on the low ground. Can they actually kill him off? They are going to be able to get in range, and they're able to find that kill. They drop the ward. Sven going to be controlled by J4, but he immediately pops that and is going to be able to find the kill onto that. Shadow Shaman farm up the wards as well. 3 are dead, but the cores still live.
Yeah, just so simple. So simply executed. They go from target to target, use a Static Storm where necessary, find the Wisp, kind of out of position, sure, but focusing pretty much everything that they needed to without overstepping or overspending any of their spells or abilities to kill him. Then Omni Knight, Static Storm, that's a worthy trade for that kill.
Yeah, totally.
Just like systematic destruction in that team fight. And look where Sven goes now. He's like, right, my fighting is done. I must go back to the Ancients. Because he started these 2 minutes ago, before they ran bot, before they ran mid, and he's gone back full circle to farm Ancients.
It shows a very clear presence of mind that they have a way they want to take this game. They don't want to try and overstay their welcome or push too far too fast, because you still have to be careful of Prodota's team fight. The thing that I will say is I don't know if Prodota's team fight ever really becomes terribly worse, because you still have this Midas on Omni Knight, so he's going to get into items that allow him to take the fight better. Most of these fights that we've seen have been pickoffs that have taken away Prodota. They're still respecting what they can do.
Oh yeah, you can definitely feel within the movements of the Dire team the fear of the IO relocate, the split push, right? Because all of these fights have been taking place across on the Radiant side of the river. They've always been smokes or movements from Chip +4 where they're warding aggressively, de-warding, trying to push further and further into these tier 2s. The creep waves now, they're being pushed out by PD, but not at a fast enough rate to kind of threaten Chip +4. But as soon as this kind of equilibrium goes out of balance, that's when PD can start, abusing and split pushing a tier 2.
Oh lordy, this could be big. They're going onto the Jug. Do they realize that everybody else is here, though? They're going to start to go onto the Omni Knight. Now Vacuum Wall. It's not in the Static Storm, but it doesn't matter. Holy shit! Arc just dismantled them. What? How much damage did that Sven do? He gets the spin off. All right.
He glimpse dodged.
All right.
Those glimpse.
That's pretty good. Omni Slash is there, but you also just lost everybody. What?
Yeah, and that was with a miscommunication between Disruptor and Darkseer as well. They threw Static Storm and Kinetic Field, then they missed Vacuum Wall further to the left of it. But still, with a Sven having Blink, Mask of Madness, just cleaving 4 heroes within a matter of seconds, why does that even matter? Again, it's just so easy to execute from Chip +4 that it doesn't matter if they miss their spells, as long as they're in position and moving forward aggressively on the front foot and not backpedaling. They are such a strong draft.
Oh, wow. That was nuts. That was great. You love to see those. That's one of the things that I've been missing is the Sven plus the Darkseer, and that's all you need, really. You throw out that Storm Bolt, you pound away at somebody. Now he has a DD as well.
What was that? Was it Fear at DreamHack Winter 2014 or something? 2015? I can't remember now. But that EG game where they vacuum Wall 5 into the Rampage from Sven, and he just cleaves everyone. They are wonderful, wonderful moments.
I need to start playing Sven more often, man.
Apparently.
God, that was great.
According to Dota Buff, until a couple of weeks ago, I was top 75 Sven or something.
Really?
Very, very skilled player.
Oh my god.
Well, it's because I've played him maybe 25 times and I had a 75% win rate or something.
All right. Well, that's good.
I don't play that many, I don't have heroes that I play a lot of. I just randomly pick stuff in games.
No, for sure, and that's the best way to do it, and that's how you get to the, you probably get to the top of leaderboards by spamming, let's be honest here. All right, so Radiant, where do you go after that? It's 8-23, and every time they've taken it, they grouped up and they're oh, we're going to bait the Juggernaut, and then suddenly they all die.
Yep.
What do they do next? How do you deal with this?
Try and split push, I believe. I don't ever think a 5v5 is going to work. Okay, they find a pick off here using Omni Slash for a single kill on a Disruptor, but that doesn't really halt Chip +4. They can just, go back and defend their lanes.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's it doesn't change the status quo of the game, except that they can't stick around and try and push out all the lanes like crazy. If Roche was up right now, that might have changed things a little bit, but it's still a little while longer before the respawn happens.
But even with one hero down, look at the Dire team. They've got this line all across the map. They're controlling their side of the river.
Yeah.
And it's up to PD to cross the line. That they are literally this is not even metaphorically challenging. This is actually them challenging. Like, hey, look, my Ursa is sitting mid, clearing a creep wave right in front of where his teammate just died. Are you going to go for him?
Yeah. No, for sure. And now they're ready to take the fight themselves. This is what we're talking about. Like, as soon as Disruptor's back up, they're happy to battle again. And it seems unlikely that Omni Knight and Wisp will survive this if they walk up. Yep, all right. That's, I guess that just happens. It happens in your world now.
Yeah, occasionally you just die. It's a fact of life, Lyrical. Sometimes you just die. It might not be old age, might be a bus, might be a spirit breaker. Might be a teddy bear you once loved. Ursa Warrior.
Oh, poor Ursa. I mean, poor Wisp, really. Let's be honest here. He didn't get the Arcana. Just gets killed off in every game. He thought he was coming back with the Iron Talon jungle, but it was just not meant to be. And time for Chip +4 to put the game in the bag at the end of the day. I think that really that combo sort of took the wind out of Prodota's sails completely, and now they're just sort of like passively...
Now they're doing what they need to do, right? They've shoved the spot lane, it's across the river, they can maybe get Serpent Wards onto the tier 2, Shadow Shaman's still lurking around. I think he goes for this, honestly, yeah. You're getting a tower, this is what they need to do, just like more of this.
Alright, I like
more,
it.
Like lots more of it. The trouble is, they've given away Aegis to a team that likes to run at you, and their tier 3s are exposed.
You know what they did end up doing, though, was you've got, you still have that relocate snakes. You know what I mean? We're waiting for it.
Where do you go? Tier 3 bot lane, just relocate snakes?
Yeah, and then after that one, you just go tier 4s. Just do it.
Sounds good. I hope you have enough time for this, because relocate and snakes have long cooldowns, my friend.
That's true.
Ursa is going to be in your base within the next, like, 25 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, well, here comes the charge onto the OD. He is walking away, and this is not looking quite good for him, not gonna lie. All right, there's a dead Shadow Shaman, and maybe he'll be able to get the Astaroth. Doesn't get it in time. The turn rate was not there, and now stunned again. Wrapped around upon. He didn't get the relocate out for Kaiser. Oh, Kaiser gets the Guardian Angel. That might just be enough to keep him alive, though. So BKB popped as well as that one, and BKB is now there for Sven. 3-3, though, is going to end up getting relocated back and away. Omni Knight staying alive for the moment, and maybe going to end up getting out. No, he's still dead. So OD manages to escape, but it cost him a Guardian Angel, Repel, and a BKB charge as, well, they clean up just about everybody else.
OD's farming illusions, though. 5 gold, 5 gold, 5 gold, 5 gold, 5 gold, 5 gold.
Hey, man, you gotta take what you can get.
That's the dumbest thing. Why did he stop? He needs more gold.
That's true. He's probably worried that, like, they were gonna just jump him.
Oh. No, he needed to use Midas.
Oh, okay.
You can't Midas illusions. Yeah, he might die.
Oh, good Force Staff and Hex. Oh, that might have been a moment to go in on him, but now Magical is there. He's shackled. This could be the throw that they need. They actually burned through the Aegis. Okay, good play by Prodota. Very much too far forward by Chip +4. They can't get too testy, though. Everybody else is right there up on the high ground.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like Sandy's Eclipse being used there on what looked like a guaranteed kill, but I guess you're still scared of versus popping in rage and like phase boots, run away, get towards his team. So popping in for that kill, removing Aegis and the immediate threat to their high ground, definitely worth it for that long cooldown ulti.
Yeah.
Now there's no safety net for Chip +4. Even though they've been, you know, stomping these team fights, even if one thing, you know, one really bad thing goes wrong and the Juggernaut gets a good Omni Slash on a Disruptor or something, and I can follow through with an OD, you know, relentlessly just stealing intelligence through his BKB duration. Drawn out fights are not what the Dire want. They want quick and easy wombo combo burst and kill.
I also have to say, we talked yesterday and you were telling me that you had like a Spirit Breaker specialist on your team that you play with. Like, I didn't believe that was the case, but in this game, I feel like the team is sort of playing a Spirit Breaker specialist around him. All these unique and weird wards have been able to catch sight of like random people, and then Spirit Breaker immediately just charges in. You go for any type of vision and see what develops from there. It's been really, I feel like Spirit Breaker has been one of the things that's been making this engine turn.
Where can we have y'all make entry somewhere? How can he go in?
Right.
Play some wards for him.
Yeah, totally.
He's got Shadow Blade now as well. That's really nice. Still only brown boots though.
I still want to see a Ag Spearbreaker in competitive at some point.
Is it still the same old Ags where you get AoE Nether Strike?
I believe so. I don't know if I've actually ever seen it. Hey man, if there's a game for it though, you know, you get the vacuum into Spearbreaker Ags.
Vacuum Nether Strike. Sure. Can't wait to see it. It was never any good.
No, okay.
It's like one of the worst Ags, but I don't know. Maybe with a vacuum, we've seen weirder combos happen. Like Darkseer Helmet Dominator when he used to build that to go and get a Centaur, vacuum into the Centaur stun.
Oh my god! For a second, I thought I clicked on the Spearbreaker, but it was actually the Ursa, and I saw the Ags queued up, and I got so excited.
Oh,
he didn't do it for it though. He got a gem instead.
Yeah, Spearbreaker buys a gem. There you go. Are you happy about this?
No, I don't like that. I mean, it's probably better for the game to end, but I'm talking as if it's a foregone conclusion that this game is going to go the way of Chip +4, and I think that it very much is. But there are things that are coming up now. You got a Solar Crest on Omni Knight, like items that do help them in these team fights to win the game. They've got still the Midas that they're for both the OD as well as the Omni Knight. They're going to continue to scale.
They need to be like at the enemy tier 2. Like they need some kind of like pressure alleviation. They can't just be holed up inside their own base.
Yeah. All right. Baited the Force Staff. Fine. Now time to go out, push out the lanes again. It's sort of weird though. They definitely don't feel comfortable going up high ground yet.
Just go relocate the Jugger bot lane or something. At this point, that's what I want to see. Just relocate people out to lanes to farm, then bring them back to safety.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, the Dire definitely don't feel too confident without an Aegis on their Ursa to actually go break high ground. It's still scary against getting hexed or shackled or even just astral, so you're cut off from the rest of your team. Or if you're baited into a team fight with a lane pushed down, Yol has moved down here for a very specific reason, so that if they take a fight now, they don't get split pushed and ratted bot tier 3.
Oh, blink away. There's the glimpse back though. Kaiser in trouble. There's the Hurricane Pike keeping him alive for the moment. J4 already down. They get the Omni Slash on his Sven. There's still going to be that Static Storm takes him down. Kaiser going to go down as well. And that actually should be the end of it. A triple kill for Sven, going for more. He doesn't quite get the kill on the 3-3, but GG is called nonetheless. And Prodota will fall in game number 2. Going to 3 again today, Gareth. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, that's good. We've been going to 3 in a lot of these games. I think only 2 of the series were like 2-0s, the NIP series. Oh, and Empire beat C9 2-0, but everything else has been 2-1s. And they've been kind of weird series where one team, falters at the start and then learns the kind of opponent's way of drafting and way of playing and found a way through. But these